Liam was an ordinary man, living an ordinary life in the quiet suburban town of Pinecrest. Each day, he followed the same routine: wake up, go to work, come home, eat dinner, watch TV, and go to bed. He never imagined that his mundane life would change in such a bizarre and horrifying way. It was a typical Saturday morning, and Liam was sipping his coffee while reading the local newspaper in his cozy, modest kitchen. The sun streamed through the window, casting a warm glow on his face. Glancing at the clock on the wall, he noticed it was 10 a.m., so he decided to take a stroll around the neighborhood. As Liam walked along the familiar streets, he admired the vibrant, blooming flowers in his neighbors' gardens. He greeted the occasional passerby with a friendly smile and nod. Everything seemed perfectly normal, until he checked his wristwatch. It read 12 p.m. Liam furrowed his brow, confused by the sudden time jump. He was certain that he had been walking for only a few minutes, and yet, 2 hours had passed. Trying to brush off the unsettling feeling, he attributed the discrepancy to his watch being faulty. Later that evening, Liam was watching his favorite show on TV. As the program came to an end, he checked the time on his phone, which read 9 p.m. He decided to call it a night, got up from the couch, and walked towards the bedroom. But as he turned the corner, he was greeted with the eerie glow of the digital clock on his nightstand. The red numbers displayed 10 p.m. His heart raced as a wave of panic washed over him. How could this be? Liam thought, his mind racing with potential explanations. He tried to remember the events that had transpired during the missing hour but found only a dark void in his memory. In the days that followed, Liam began experiencing more instances of time loss. He found himself in places he had no recollection of going to and had conversations with people he couldn't remember meeting. The void in his memory grew larger, consuming more and more of his life. Terrified and desperate for answers, Liam turned to the internet, searching for anyone who might have experienced similar phenomena. He stumbled upon a forum dedicated to the discussion of time anomalies and posted his story, hoping for some insight. One user, who went by the name Timekeeper, replied to Liam's post with a chilling message. "You're not alone. We call it the vanished hour. It's a phenomenon that's been happening to a select few for centuries. Beware, for the void in your memory is not empty. Something lurks within, feeding on the time it steals from you. The more time it takes, the stronger it becomes. Find a way to stop it before it's too late." The words sent shivers down Liam's spine. He couldn't shake the feeling that the unseen entity was watching him, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He resolved to confront the creature and reclaim the stolen hours of his life. Liam began to study the vanished hour, hoping to find a pattern that would allow him to predict when it would strike next. He pored over countless books on time, quantum physics, and the paranormal, searching for anything that might help him in his quest. One night, as Liam sat in his dimly lit study, surrounded by piles of dusty tomes, he discovered a clue. A mention of a ritual that could grant one the ability to navigate the stolen hours and face the creature that resided within the void. It was a dangerous gamble, but Liam had no other choice. He performed the ritual, lighting candles and chanting ancient words that he had found in a tattered old book. As the last syllable left his lips, the room around him seemed to warp and twist, and a feeling of weightlessness overtook him. Liam found himself suspended in a cold, dark void, completely devoid of any light or sound. Slowly, he began to navigate the stolen hours, each step feeling like a lifetime. As he ventured deeper into the abyss, he felt an ominous presence lurking in the darkness. Liam steeled himself and continued forward, determined to confront the entity and reclaim his life. Suddenly, a monstrous, shape-shifting creature emerged from the darkness, its many eyes fixated on Liam. The entity seemed to be an amalgamation of every minute, every second that it had stolen from him and countless others. Liam felt a surge of anger and defiance rise within him, and he stared back at the creature, unflinching. "I've come to take back what you've stolen from me," Liam shouted, his voice echoing through the void. The creature roared, the sound like 1,000 nails on a chalkboard, but Liam stood his ground. With all the strength he could muster, he focused on the time that had been taken from him, envisioning the hours, minutes, and seconds returning to their rightful place. As he concentrated, the creature began to shrink and lose its form, the stolen time flowing back into the void and into Liam's memories. The process was excruciating, but he refused to surrender. Finally, the creature was reduced to a faint wisp of darkness, disappearing into the abyss. Liam found himself back in his study, the candles still burning, and the clock on the wall ticking away. Exhausted but triumphant, he looked at the time, not a single second out of place. The vanished hour had been vanquished, and his life was once again his own. But the experience had changed him. No longer content with his mundane existence, Liam decided to use his newfound knowledge to help others facing similar time anomalies. With each person he aided, he unraveled more mysteries of the void and the creatures that inhabited it. And though he knew the dangers, Liam continued to explore the edges of time, forever vigilant against the darkness that threatened to steal it away.